Hey guys, I wanted to do a video and talk about my review of just an amazing album, musically and thematically, or lyrically. Is an album called Olias of Sunhillow by John Anderson. John Anderson is the lead singer and fair to say, I think the main songwriter. And they all contributed, but lyrically, I think he was the main lyricist. And people oftentimes don't understand what he's trying to say. He's like, not a Van Gogh, but a Picasso. He paints with words. There is meaning, and the meaning is profound. This album is a bit more linear in terms of actually telling a story. The story is called, fantasy, almost a sci-fi, classic tale of Olias as the central character who really, parallels Jesus, myth. Um, the world's dying, right? He knows it. His world is going to die, and he knows he has to get off, kind of like Noah's Ark. Um, and the music that John lays down really paints a picture. Talks about how Elias, one summer he's just deep in meditation. What can I do to save this world? And so he's got a song. He goes into a trance. Actually, there's three main characters: Elias, Kirkwake, and Ranyart form the holy trinity of this story. And through meditation, these figures, I think, summon the fish from the ocean that come crashing together, and their scales and their bodies form the shell of this ark, right, to get off this planet that's dying. And so the four tribes of the earth, come together with their different, rhythms and musical styles and different cultures come together to save the world, to get off this planet that's dying. And they get on the ship, and through a magic spell, they are catapulted off into space. And as they're voyaging to space, to this unknown world, the old world explodes. And I may be in the story somewhat chronological, out of chronological order, but yeah, the world explodes. And I think this panic sets in. Here we are floating in outer space, and we don't know where the hell we're going. There is like this panic that happens, and there's tensions start to rise between these four tribes. And again, Olias comes to the rescue and just soothes them with a song, a meditation, to ease them into a sleep, a hypnosis, and kind of put them into a cocoon state, a relaxed state, until they can ease into this new world, and this new Earth or planet comes together. And Olias and Ranyart, I think they float away. They've done their job. Well, guys, it's a brilliant album. It's beautiful. John has a beautiful voice, a beautiful soul. It's the story of humanity. And let me give you two ways that it's a story of humanity. This parallels the story of a sperm. That there can only be one sperm that bridges the gap, makes that rite of passage to penetrate that egg. And a new singularity is created. Guys, there's a light given off when every child is conceived. A new universe opens up. You are a universe unto yourself. It also parallels the Jesus story. It also parallels the story of a star. Okay, if you know anything about evolution scientifically, you know that we evolved from stars. We are stardust. And every element in the universe can only be created outside of the Big Bang, which we had hydrogen and I think helium in the earliest universe, until these So gravity started this spinning process, and nuclear fusion gave off light, and the star was born. Guys, we evolved from stars. We are stars in deep reality. This flesh and blood human experience is a game. It's an illusion. It's to learn how to love people. A star has to go supernova. It has to die to give life to everything else. Jesus knew it. Every, spiritual leader knows it. He knows that's enlightenment. Enlightenment is knowing, recognizing that you are light, you are energy, you are timeless. There is a God, and God is you. It's everyone. We take turns saving each other. That you have nothing to fear. That the universe and God is not out to get you. But it's like a parent has to, at some point, boot the kid out of the nest and say, sink or swim. This is not life to stay cooped up in the nest. You have to be free. You will find your wings. You will find a way. This too shall pass. And the third part of enlightenment is recognizing that everyone is connected to you. When you judge or hate someone else, you're hating yourself. Everyone is family. It's so simple. Guys, we evolved from a common ancestor. The universe, your personal Big Bang was the moment your father's sperm hit your mother's egg and your universe was born. It's almost identical to mine because we were born within almost no time passing of each other. We are family. And I think that if you look, I'd have to ask John Anderson. He, in interviews like you can see on YouTube where he talks about, writing and recording this album that he nearly went mad. I'm sure that he went through the same rite of passage. Probably the time he was maybe having children. I went through it too just recently. I haven't had children. And when you feel like you're dying, God, the universe will come after you and shake you up and say, you know what? You're here because all of your ancestors sacrificed to bring you to today. You have to consider that. Is the universe going to end if I don't have children? What about all my descendants? And John kind of closes out the album. Olias, remember your begotten fathers and your begotten sons. And I think the last song is To the Runner. The Runner. In Rudyard Kipling's classic poem, If, he says, if you can, I'm going to butcher the line here, but the closing line is, if you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds distance run, then yours is the world and all that's in it. And what's more, you'll be a man, my son. You could say that to a sperm. Finish that run. There's no letting up. You got to go. You got to swim for it. And why do we go back to the ocean? Fish, sperm. Think about it. You are a fish. You were a fish out of water. We are. And the ocean is the sky. Noah's Ark. You get on the ocean. And if I've covered all the points I wanted to make. But this is a brilliant album by a brilliant and loving guy. His lyrics have, pulled me through time and time again. The guy, he's a prophet. He knew what was coming. The song for harmonic convergence, it's coming. Holy Lamb. Don't be afraid of letting go. Out of love will come a long, long, glorious way. Guys, we live in the dark ages. We forgot what life is about. We're here to make connection and contribution. These bodies are perfect, but they're meant to propel forward, exercise, eat healthy food. Here in America, our diet sucks. Take care of your body and you won't die. Okay, look up neurogenesis. I think our ancestors, the ancients, they're laughing at us right now at how stupid we've been. This is the worldwide wake up. There ain't no more time for warfare. And one of the lyrics from a Yes song, Topographic Oceans, um, was glory to sons of old fighters past. And I think the missing line there is glory to the peaceful sons and daughters. There's no more time for war. The glory comes to those who lay down their weapons. You won't get to heaven with weapons in hand. Jesus was right. You got to give it away. It'll be there for you. Make your will. Write it out. Release it. That's what love is. You give it up and then you get it back. We're here to give to each other. So let's see, I'll put a link to the album on YouTube. The artwork is awesome. This is the story of humanity, learning how to let go. And that's what love means. Okay, hope that satisfies you. Or if you haven't heard the album, if you don't know about Yes and their music, not to trash modern music. There's, pop music is cool. I like it too. But if you've never listened to like classical music or gonna taste, Yes are the masters of music. They are artists on par with there's no one I don't think can touch them in terms of their understanding of how to create emotion in music. It's through understanding how to build a theme, how to change tempo, change key, and to build up to this huge emotional impact. And their music is more spiritual than I think that I ever found in going to church. Moves me to tears and goosebumps, and it's a lesson for life. Don't be afraid of letting go. All right, that's it. Wish you well.